Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I'd really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing a lovely circa 2008 Breguet Marine 5817 Big Date, a handsome stainless steel and red gold composition around a solid gold guilloche dial with silvered and anthracite effects. It is a graceful 100-meter water-resistant sports watch, and many will say that the best generation of the Breguet Marine was the previous generation of the Breguet Marine, of which this 39mm watch was a member. So 39mm in diameter on my 16cm circumference wrist. The watch wears far broader than that, because as you can see, the lugs are substantial. They arc out considerably, and lug-to-lug, the watch does have a substantial 50mm span across the wrist, so while normally a 39 would wear on a smaller wrist, I'm going to recommend not wearing this watch on a wrist smaller than 14.5cm circumference. It is thin, however. The watch is only 12mm thick, and you can see with that double-stepped domed bezel, it will slide easily under a dress cuff. A Breguet sports watch, after all, should still be able to dress up in formal attire, and this one can. Drawing a little bit closer, you can see in excellent detail that this is a solidly constructed but rich sports model. The end profile of the end link conforms nicely to the arc of the case, just as it slopes to conform to the slope of the lugs. The lugs fix the bracelet in place using screws, so they are very secure. And then you can see there's a little bit of a staggered alignment to the red gold intermediate links. Polished outer face, you can see that the flanking links are of satin finish, and there is plenty of daylight through the bracelet to vent the wrist on a hot day, as well as avoid pinching skin or pulling hair. There's a little bit of a calculated asymmetry in the staggered alignment of the red gold center links. Now you can see, if you do want to size the bracelet, all of the removable links are fixed in place using screws, so you don't need a punch or a block to size this. Built the right way, screws, not pin sleeves. A single fold deployant, it's a simple mechanism, quite secure when closed, but it is friction fit, so you won't want to subject this watch to the most violent of athletic activities. But then again, it's sort of a watch that's a bit above the fray. Highly water resistant, automatic, and loomed, yes, but this isn't necessarily the watch to wear while beating it over the reef. This isn't one for the dive locker. This one, I would say this one is for the deck of the yacht or the beach in front of the yacht club. Now the dial is extraordinary, but you work this watch from the outside in. Note the wave-style shear guards for the crown and the deep knurling of the crown. Note how angular and polished the lugs are, though not large in the grand scheme of sports watches. They are strong, and they give the watch a hard, angular outside definition that gives way to a coined case flank that is cold rolled and then hand finished for precision. It's beautifully made and it's distinctive of the brand. The bezel is all of high polish, red gold, and double stepped. It has a billowing, sensuous compound curvature about it that makes it quite becoming and significantly softer in image, and a little bit more delicate, genteel than a conventional sports watch. It's more refined, it's better bred, and that's exactly the image that Breguet wants to project. You can see the dial of the watch features silvered elements, anthracite elements, and rose lathe guilloche, that is hand guilloche as it's often described. Freehand, drawn, and then executed using a lathe equipped with special cams to guide in the design created by the guilloche. As you can see, anthracite and silver, but the dial itself is solid gold. A big date down at 6 o'clock, Breguet style hands in red gold, a counterweight Breguet style needle seconds hand, loomed outboard. You can see the hours and minutes are also loomed, and the timepiece is gracefully composed but still very functional even at night. There's a quick set for the date, turn it all over, and you have a movement finished to the standards you would expect of a name like Breguet. Let's get as close as we can. This is the Breguet caliber 517 GG. It's based on a Frédéric Piguet 1150, which means it has twin mainspring barrels, and it has a longer than average power reserve, 65 hours here. It's a little bit difficult to show because my camera's having difficulty tracking the image, but you can see that there's more rose lathe guilloche for the winding rotor itself. It's been cut in a nautilus shell-like pattern appropriate to the marine theme of the watch. You'll also note the twin mainspring barrels that give the watch its 65-hour power reserve. It is adjusted in 5 positions like a chronometer, and it beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It is quite handsomely finished with mirrored anglage at the edge of the bridges, considerable black polish of the screws, and other highly reflective components that you'll appreciate. It features immaculately laid Côte de Genève and an engine-turned perlage across the base plate. Nicely executed, it's technically accomplished and handsomely finished. This 35 joule movement, again, an evolution of the 1150, and it's the 28,800 vibration per hour beat rate that accounts for the 65-hour power reserve rather than 100 plus, as you'll see in other 1150 variants. So this is a higher beat watch that's better adapted to shocks on the wrist and keeping excellent time in the process. You can see and you can purchase this Breguet Marine 5817 in red gold and steel on the watch box. The Breguet Marine by night, blue for the hands, green for the indices.